Dillian Whyte right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Now, when we all think of British heavyweights and prospects and who's going to be the chosen one, okay, who's going to be the next big star out of all the heavyweight prospects, who's going to be the one to fulfill the prophecy, okay, who's going to be the one who's going to be the Neo from the Matrix, the Anakin Skywalker, okay, most people will probably go Daniel Dubois. And there's no reason to think otherwise right now. Ultimately, we don't know. Time will tell. But Daniel Dubois is progressing at the right rate. So when I say that he's looking the real deal, he's looking the real deal for the level of where he is. As in, he's ahead of where he really should be. Okay? But there's too many boxing fans out there who believe that he's already ready for the top guns. You put him in there against a Joshua, a Dillian Whyte, a Tyson Fury, a Wilder, a Usyk, and so on, that he's going to starch them. Don't get me wrong, he's a powerful guy, and if he hits any of these guys on the button, yes, he could get the win. Of course he could. But there's a lot of gatekeepers out there as well who could also hit these guys on the button and get the win. It's heavyweight. But the thing is, with boxing fans, is that we're so impatient, is that we want it now. We don't want to wait. But with Daniel Dubois, and all our prospects, we have to wait. We should wait. Waiting is the right thing to do. He needs to progress. The guys that he's fighting right now, such as Fujimoto, such as Ebenezer Tete, the Kevin Johnsons, etc. These are the kind of guys that he should be fighting. Too many people are impatient and putting much needed smoke up the backside of Daniel Dubois. It's not needed. It really isn't needed. Because Daniel Dubois, the progression that he's going through, the gears, he's doing it the right way. Area, British, Commonwealth. Listen, WBC silver is probably a step too far for him right now. But listen, there's nothing wrong with boxing fans believing he's going to be the real deal. And I hope that he is. Really, I hope that he is. I hope he's going to be the next Lennox Lewis, the next Anthony Joshua, the next Frank Bruno, as in getting the public behind them, captivating the hearts of the British boxing fans. Daniel Dubois could be that one. But he's only 22 years old. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Because when I'm hearing reporters such as Behind the Glove, that guy there, I don't want to be rude, but you come across as a bit of an idiot when you mention to Daniel Dubois, when you mention to Frank Warren, the names like Dillian Whyte. First of all, what you don't do is put Dillian Whyte in the same category as a Derek Chisora. You don't do that. Why? Because Dillian Whyte, he's fought Derek Chisora twice and beat him twice. So that in itself will tell you that Dillian Whyte is above Derek Chisora. There's nothing wrong with a Daniel Dubois fighting a Derek Chisora kind of level, a Bryant Jennings, maybe a Charles Martin, and a few guys like that. Because that will really, really test his mustard. It really would. Same with Joe Joyce. Personally, I wouldn't put him in. With Derek Chisora or a Joseph Parker now right now. People will disagree with me because people are impatient. People have this delusion about Daniel Dubois. So when this reporter is mentioning the names like Dillian Whyte to Daniel Dubois, when he's mentioning Dillian Whyte to Frank Warren, these guys are not going to turn around and go, yeah, I don't think Daniel's ready yet for that kind of fight. They're going to hype up their guy. Daniel Dubois is going to hype up himself. He's a fighter. He's got a self-belief. And even if he doesn't believe he could beat a Dillian Whyte, he's going to say, yeah, of course. And they're going to talk themselves into a corner where they're not going to be able to get out of it. You put Daniel Dubois in with the Fujimotos of the world. That's what you do. The Kevin Johnsons of the world. What you don't do is put Daniel Dubois in at this stage with a killer. You don't do that. History will show you this. Frank Bruno was knocking over the same kind of level opposition, doing it again and again and again. He came up against James Bonecrusher Smith, got starched. And then he was carrying on fighting Tomato Can, and then of course come up against Tim Witherspoon, got starched. And then again and again and again, fought Mike Tyson, got starched. Again, continue, fought Lennox Lewis, got starched. You need to build him up correctly. That's what you do. You don't put him in there with a Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte, you put him in the category of an Anthony Joshua, a Tyson Fury, a Deontay Wilder, a Alexander Usyk. You put him in that category. Because you put Dillian Whyte in with Daniel Dubois, you're putting him in with a killer. You're putting him in with somebody with a chip on his shoulder. You're putting him in with somebody who's got ambition. Somebody who don't care if Daniel Dubois is 22 years old. He don't care about Daniel Dubois' progression. It's kill. That's all it is. That's all Dillian Whyte's going to have on his mind. Mow through him. Knock him out. Dillian Whyte will have no remorse about putting Daniel Dubois down on that canvas asleep. He won't care. He's the wrong guy to put Daniel Dubois in there with. I'm telling you right now, Dillian Whyte is a killer. You don't put Daniel Dubois in with killers at this stage. In about a year, maybe 2 years' time, of course, let's have this conversation. Of course. But as I said before, Daniel Dubois, yes, if he lands on Dillian Whyte, on the button, yes, he could knock him out. Same if he lands on Tyson Fury, with Wilder, with Usyk, with Joshua, yes, he could knock him out. But you can only give Daniel Dubois a puncher's chance against these guys. So it's unfair to mention Daniel Dubois alongside a Dillian Whyte. As I said before, he's a freight train. He's coming to bring pain. He's coming to bring destruction. He's got a chip on his shoulder right now where he wants that WBC World Heavyweight title. He wants Wilder. And anybody who gets in the ring with Dillian Whyte right now, you could be in a whole world of pain. I don't want to see Daniel Dubois in the condition of Lucas Brown, face down, out cold. I don't want to see him on his back, out, like Derek Chisora. I don't want to see that right now. Ultimately, listen, there's nothing wrong with Daniel Dubois or any fighter taking a loss or two along the way, because ultimately it's the end product that's important. But I don't want to be hearing Daniel Dubois against Dillian Whyte. Some of you guys may disagree with me, and that's fine. But the reality is, and it is a reality, Dillian Whyte is angry. Dillian Whyte has ambition. Dillian Whyte has everything that so far Daniel Dubois' opponents have not had. He's got heart. He's got courage. And he's got brutality. He's got pain on his mind. You don't mention Dillian Whyte's name with Daniel Dubois. You don't do it. Ultimately, who knows? As I said before, hopefully Daniel Dubois goes on and becomes world heavyweight champion and he captivates the hearts of the British boxing fans and worldwide boxing fans. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he fulfills the prophecy that many people have written out for him. But right now, he will get derailed by Dillian Whyte. Starched by Dillian Whyte. He will be out cold by Dillian Whyte. Much like if you put him in there with Joshua, Daniel Dubois will be starched out. Starched. Same with Wilder. Tyson Fury would make him look stupid. You don't do it. It's okay to hype this guy. Of course it is. There's nothing wrong with that. But he needs to be in there with the likes of Fujimoto. Well, I say Fujimoto, he needs to be a level above that one, progress that way. He's going through the right gears. If it's Joe Joyce next, I wouldn't be totally convinced that Daniel Dubois beats Joe Joyce at this point. Maybe he would. I think Daniel Dubois might be the favourite going to that fight. But I'll put him in with a Bryant Jennings. I'll put him in there with a Robert Helenius. Some guys who's got a bit of a name. Ones who's going to be where Daniel Dubois is proving it. Joe Joyce is already proven it. As in, he's already defeated a Bermane Stiverne. But you can't put these guys in with Dillian Whyte. You just can't. I know plenty of people overlook Dillian Whyte, but again, he's been proving people wrong time and time again. He's an animal. You don't put Daniel Dubois in with killers, with somebody with ambition, somebody with a chip on their shoulder. You don't do it right now, because it's only going to go one way. Daniel Dubois doesn't have the experience to hang with these kind of guys right now. As I said, in about a year or two's time, we could be having a totally different conversation. But right now, leave the guy alone. Let him progress. You may not be happy that he's fighting the Fujimotos or the Ebenezer Tetes. You may not be happy about that, but you need to be patient. You need to be patient. You can't put a pussycat in with a tiger. You can't do it. You just can't do it. So that reporter from Behind the Gloves, Stop asking stupid questions, because I've noticed quite a lot lately. You've been coming out with stupid questions. You're coming across like you don't actually know too much about boxing. Keep Dillian Whyte's name out of your mouth when it comes to these kind of fights. Dillian Whyte is on a totally different path. He's looking at world heavyweight title shots. Him fighting Daniel Dubois isn't going to get him anything. To be honest, I'm not even too sure Frank Warren could afford to pay Dillian Whyte that kind of money. Dillian Whyte has nothing to gain by fighting Daniel Dubois, except a Daniel Dubois on his resume by brutal knockout. And that's the reality of it. And people who really want to support and get behind Daniel Dubois, you should have the same mindset. You should be saying, yes, he shouldn't be fighting these guys. Let him progress. What Frank Warren has done with Daniel Dubois so far is fantastic. And yes, he's shown that he is better than maybe what he should be at this level. He's showing that. But he's going to come up against a Bone Crusher Smith, a Tim Witherspoon. He's going to come up against these guys. And he's going to get done. I don't want to see that. He needs to be progressing at the right rate. Anyway, listen, that's my thoughts about it. People may disagree. If people think that he's already the finished article, sorry, but I think you're a little bit mad to think that he is. He's not the finished article. As much as you may want him to be, it doesn't mean that he is. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.